اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيبنا وحبيب إله العالمين أبو القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ramadan Reflections. And this week we're going to talk about something special. It's related to every time you had to endure something that you didn't want to do. It's related to every time you had to stay and remain calm in a situation where you got angry. It's related to every time that something unpleasant happened with your life, but you remembered an example that you had, you remembered Allah, you remembered something that kept you going, which is patience. And the definition of patience has been given as the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, suffering without getting angry or upset. And in various occasions, Quran has mentioned patience as being a reward, as being rewarded every time that there is a bunch of trouble that happens to human beings. Normally, Quran ends that verse with saying, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Like for example, in the verse in Surah Al-Zumar, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. So these are kind of given events that will happen in every human being's life, and it's part of how this world is put together. That there's always going to be suffering when it comes to you're going to have fear, you're going to have hunger, you're going to have your dear ones that are going to eventually die and and leave you in a situation where you feel sad and angry. But Bashir Sabreen. So there's a congratulations to everyone who will remain patient and calm. Ahlul Bayt have always correlated patience with faith, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why is there such a strong correlation between faith and patience. We're going to talk about what are the lessons that we can learn from Ahlul Bayt, and we have great examples, the best examples in the Prophet and Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and even personalities like Abu Talib, which today is the remembrance of his death, and how he remained patient in order to bring up Islam in its first stages. So I want to start by welcoming my beautiful guests. As always, we got Brother Muhammad Khabaz and Haidar Arab. And inshallah, we'll start today with you, Muhammad. How are you? I hope everything is okay. And
عليكم السلام.
Habib Muhammad. And I want to start by asking you about the relationship between faith and patience. And in one of the ahadith from Amir Mumni alayhi salam says, "As-sabr ahsanu khil al-iman." So it's like the best friend of patience. So let's start with that. Let's get it going, Muhammad.
Right. One of the main pillars of Islam, yani one of the bases of Islam, relies on patience. In fact, in the Quran, it's mentioned over 103 times, the word patience and its derivatives and its roots. So there's a great importance, and the Quran highlights the importance of patience and how patience and faith are very related together. They're correlated so much that Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam on hadith, he says, "As-sabru ra'sul iman." Verily, sabr, meaning patience, is to faith what the head is to the body. Right? So we have the physical body, and the head of it is the iman. The body perishes without the head. So without the head, you won't have the body.
Absolutely.
And so also when sabr goes, faith also disappears.
Absolutely.
So it is very hard to have faith in God subhanahu wa ta'ala without having patience. In fact, when patience the very first time, it could be like a generic definition, a Western definition, where the element of faith is not necessarily present.
Absolutely.
And that's not to say it's a wrong thing. No, many successful people derive and see patience as a main pillar of success, right? So patience leads to success because it's a focus on the long-term behavior rather than instant gratification.
Absolutely.
Which this worldly materialistic life is living by nowadays.
Absolutely.
So we can also define sabr by like it's a restraint from agitation. It's a form of self-control. You control yourself when confronted with undesirable effects. And if you don't control yourself, and if you don't restrain from agitation, then this might lead to sinning when taking patience and relating it with faith and iman.
That's beautiful.
So a person, patience is not something like we're born with.
You have to work on it. You mean?
You have to work on it. You have to develop it. If you live by patience, then you live nearer to God. It's one of the ultimate goals of life. A person who's feeling, inner anguish over misfortune, who's, angry when calamity occurs, who rejects calamities, who blames other people when something bad happens, you would see that person has a weak ma'rifah to God. And ma'rifah, we can define it as a gnosis or knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He doesn't understand his purpose.
So if he knew God better, he would have been patient, kind of.
Exactly. So if he has higher faith, then by definition he has higher patience. Okay. So how do we achieve higher faith? You need to develop the element of patience that we have. And one of the important emphasis that Ahlul Bayt makes about patience is to have content in life, to have rida in life, to have satisfaction over all conditions, calamities, troubles, to accept those and to work on them and move on, and not to complain and not to stay stagnant on them. So that's an important element of faith.
I love it. So basically, you gave us a lot of beautiful points. Inshallah, we're gonna get to them later. But like Muhammad mentioned, there is the generic definition of faith. But then, if you look at of patience, sorry, but if you look at the definition of Islam, you're gonna see that kind of there is always two sides to it. There is faith when it comes, patience when it comes to doing what you're supposed to do, what God has asked you to do. And there is patience when it comes to abstaining from what God told you don't do. So now we're gonna talk more about that with Haida. Haida, how are you, man? How's everything?
Alhamdulillah, how are you, brother?
Wallah, alhamdulillah.
Good to be
So
here.
I want you. Sorry.
I said it's good to be here again.
No, it's good to have you, man. So I want you to elaborate on that. Did Islam kind of give us different, like a way to define the many types of patience? What are the types of patience? And what is this relationship between patience and ma'siyah and ta'ah?
Yeah. Well, indeed, like Muhammad said, and he pointed out a lot of things, patience is one of the fundamentals, qualities for a human being to be strong and wise and to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have many narrations and in our traditions and in the Quran verses where they talk about patience, and then they highlight three types of patience. The first type where they highlight and emphasize on is the patience when facing a tragedy.
Okay.
Yeah. And the one they highlight is about the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So abiding his wajibat, going and doing his wajibat. And then the third one where they emphasize as well is being patient and staying away from sinning and staying away from the muharamat, from the desires.
Okay.
So yeah, and so we find in the Quran when they talk about tragedy, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون. So basically here in the Quran it says الذين أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. So those who faced an obstacle, a disaster, a tragedy, they say we are from Allah, and to Allah we belong, and to Him we shall return.
Yeah.
So those are blessed by Allah, and they are rightly guided. And then we also have when speaking about the patience on tragedy, we have Imam Sadiq. He has like a nice, there's a nice hadith. It says, "Man ابتلى من المؤمنين ببلاء فصبر عليه كان له مثل أجر ألف شهيد." So a mu'min, a believer who is tested with a tragedy and he practices patience towards it, is rewarded as of 1,000 shaheed, 1,000 martyr. So this is really like nice and great to show how great it is to have this quality of patience, because you're going to be rewarded as not one shaheed, like a shaheed that goes and that dies at a certain point by a bullet or a sword. You're rewarded as 1,000 shaheed if you practice the true and getting close to Allah. So that's about when facing a tragedy. And then if we go on the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the wajibat, so using patience and being patient to do the wajibat, we have an ayah that says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wasta'inu bis-sabri was-salah wa innaha lakabiratun illa 'ala al-khashi'in. So here in the Quran it says use like al-sabr so use the salah and the psalm to get that practice salah and sabr and siyam to get the patience. To get to the patience. We also have like a nice hadith from Imam Ali where it says inna wajadna al-sabr ala ta'at Allah aysar min al-sabr ala adabih. So here it's nice. Here what it says is Imam Ali is saying we found that being patient towards the obedience of Allah, and doing the wajibat is way easier than being patient on his punishment, on his adab. So mine as well. So here, mine as well. Do the wajibat, try as much as possible. Use patience, use your discipline, do your salah, do your wajibat as much as you can, because it is much more easier than being patient. So yeah, you're gonna take that punishment because Allah is just, but it's way easier than to do it than being patient on getting the punishment.
But on that point, and I want you guys both to comment on this. We know that what we've seen from hadith is that there is a relationship between what the mu'min is in this life and their level. Or sometimes you see, for example, if somebody has committed a few sins or something, that they will be harshly tested in this life in order to kind of free up some of the load that they have for the life after. So where do you get the patience for this? I mean, it's going to come back to the question of which one builds the other. Is it faith that builds patience, or is it patience that eventually lead to higher levels of faith?
Well, having patience, it comes with many advantages. It comes with a lot of packages. For the faithful Muslim, for the faithful believer, it increases in endurance in further calamities or troubles that come in life. For example, this life is filled with anxiety, intolerances. A lot of people nowadays suffer from depression.
Yeah.
And those happen with people who do not really have patience. And as a consequence, don't really have faith.
Okay.
And so for a person, who worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of worshiping subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of obedience, all those calamities and troubles becomes easier as time goes on.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
And his life will be filled with tranquility.
Yeah.
And it's a security against intolerance and anxiety.
I think it relates more to like what you said, which is patience is one of those indications that you do have higher knowledge of God's mercy, of God's action, of what God has plans for you, of what God has planned for you. And so basically we're gonna continue this topic. Later on, we're going to touch upon.
Before Nathan, sorry to cut you off. Before we move on to the next topic, I had the last type of patience where I really like. There's this nice hadith where it's also to connect to Muhammad. Imam Musa al-Kadhim, it says, "اصبر على طاعة الله واصبر على معاصي الله فإنما الدنيا ساعة." You're a child, then you become a teenager, then you become an adult, and then you have to take care. Then by the end, the last aspect where you become a grandparent, and then you're shayib. So all those segments, you see, oh wow, this is 80 years. But here, when you practice really patience, and then you practice what Ahlul Bayt has given us and what Allah has given us as tools, you'll see the matter of this world is only an hour, and then this is where you're really free. You free yourself, and you get.
I mean, definitely. If you look at, and later on, I want to touch on a point that you said, Muhammad, because I kind of want to know what you mean that depression. If you had patience, you won't go in depression, because maybe whoever the viewers out there might think that depression is a lot deeper than that, and maybe not 100% related to patience, but we'll get to that. On your points, Haida, if you think about it, when you're that, and this is the hardest thing, of course, but when you're about to commit a sin, it is like Imam said, it's a lahva. It's at that moment. If you decide to skip that and move on, then you have passed, and kind of, if you remain patient.
Exactly.
And if you decided to commit, then impatient. We'll get more on this topic, and in the next segment, we'll talk about every time that you sipped your coffee and you burnt your mouth, every time you took that slice of pizza and you couldn't even wait for it to cool down. You binge watched a show on Netflix for hours and hours. It's we're gonna touch upon patience and its relation to our daily life. We do want to comment on this topic and ask us the questions if you have in mind on Slido and on the live chat. So please go ahead. As I said before, and it's worth mentioning again, this show was primarily based on the idea that if we cannot meet up with our people in the community centers, at least we can see them and interact with them. And it's so we do need your interactions and your questions. Also, give us your comments about what you think we've been doing so far, because we will only succeed based on your patience with us. Look at that. So we'll get back to this, inshallah, after a break.
I wanted to go through the story of the tragedy of Fatima Zahra alayhi salam, but just one specific part of that story, one that breaks all of our hearts. And before I lead into it, I want to bring you a man, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, who sits there and ponders what had happened, what would have happened if the Prophet had not told, "Oh Ali, be patient." And he was not handcuffed by his patience. And he could stand there and take revenge on the people who hurt Our Lady Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. He stands there and he says, if only I were not handcuffed by the Prophet's words, if only patience did not become my biggest enemy. If only I was battling marhab with the Prophet watching me. If only I were not in chains with my burning house taunting me. If only revelation descended like it once did to my house. If only evolution were not so burdensome and weighty. If only not so many trials came with being named Ali. I faced 10,000 at Hunain, but I wish I wouldn't face today. If only Allah wanted me to be the Ali of Badr only, where I'd tear the battle in two, killing half of them easily. If only the house of Allah had kept me within its axis. No axis would break it open, but for my mother it gave way. But here we are. Muhammad is gone, and Islam had begun. I cradle Islam like a child in its infancy. The Prophet's anger is fueled, and I see his grave shaking, and I become the shuddering door of Muhammad's shaking city. If only my great Lord revealed the second Surah Al-Tawbah and told me, kill them wherever you find them, the men of idolatry. I'd become a lion again in battle, only without Ahmed, meaning it would be war, but without Allah's mercy. If only my Dhul Fiqar came alive and said, Bismillah, and the same way men feast, I would feast on my enemy. The enemy in me I defeat as I feast on their flesh, defending Zahra and oneness of Allah and belief in Allah. The same thing really. I'd become a dragon and Arabia would be in awe and take back my kingdom for the orphan, the poor and needy. I'd become a lion defending its woman and its pride, except its woman with the planets of the sky, she does tasbih. I'd leave my house to the sound of those who I've killed cheering my name. I'd leave my house to the sound of those who I've killed cheering my name. I'd unsheathe my sword and hear Allah himself cry, Ya Ali. I'd come back bathed in their blood with not a cut on my body, and that's the only time anything najis would ever touch me. If only men were good and loved Allah and loved beauty and wanted goodness for this world and not tragedy after tragedy. If only men did not want to see orphans cry and widows lonely. I did not want the caliphate, but I did want to kill poverty. I do not want power, but I want to see all men fed. I do not want a throne, I want a mountain of bread I can give away. I am the justice of Allah manifested on this earth. It's because of me that the planets rotate and worship divinity. I am the secret of this world, and its secrets, they sleep in my chest. Jibreel descends and has meetings with me daily. What overflows in me sprinkles within other men. If only men understood and did not throw their heaven away. If only my house was not set alight with Zahra behind the door. If only my house was not set alight with Zahra behind the door. If only she did not push the door. If only he did not push the door and break the rib of my lady. If only she did not cry out, Ya Fadha, and instead she cried out, Ya Ali. If only Muhsin did not need to ask, for what sin was I guilty? If only my children did not have to watch their mother in pain. If only they did not have to see her cheek slap so tragically. If only they did not know what it feels like to be orphaned. If only they did not grow in a house so dark and lonely. But I can't keep saying if only, and I can't keep thinking what if. I can't keep saying if only, and I can't keep thinking what if. Men shouldn't dwell on things that might have happened in different ways. Knowing Allah is watching is the only way I can march on. If I can lift the door of Khaybar, then I can get through this surely. So I uncradle myself and I get up from the corner. I uncradle myself and I get up from the corner. I was there because I had felt my wife's rib when washing her body. I was there because I had felt my wife's rib when washing her body. I wipe my tears and I carry on with a broken heart, feeling just like broken bone. And I wait for Fatima to be avenged by my grandson, the Mahdi. And I wait for Fatima to be avenged by my grandson, the Mahdi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Welcome back, everybody. So we're gonna continue talking about patience, but before that, I want to go back on a point because I kind of can't see it yet. But where is that coming from, Muhammad? How is it that if you're patient enough, you won't or you shouldn't have depression?
Right. So what I meant by depression, it's you can think of it as another aspect of a troublesome in life, anxiety, another setback. As patience is a person who not necessarily lives in the present. He thinks about his future. A patient person always has hope. He thinks in a positive manner. And so once you develop this thinking of success, thinking of positive attitude, it is rare to see a depressed person that is also patient. Now, it may take a long time. It may take a shorter time, for the calamity to end. But it's always important to know that happiness, that the end of the calamity is right around the corner. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna ma'al usri yusra.
Absolutely. I do see your point, and actually, I know, Haider, you have something to say about this, but before you go, I know that we're not experts for sure when it comes to psychological and mental fitness and how to increase that, how to tackle stuff like depression. But I know from what I read that one of the main aspects why people do fall in depression is because they can't see the end of the tunnel. Like it's it's a bit like purposeless, Mm-hmm. And definitely having faith in your life, having Allah and Ahlul Bayt, having religion, having that spiritual side, kind of gives you a plan, kind of gives you a pattern. So I do see where you're coming from. Haida, what do you got?
Well, it's the same thing that it's just to emphasize on what Muhammad says as well.
Yeah.
And when someone reaches, before he reaches the state of depression, so the last one of the last states of depression, where it will depend also on what type of situations, but with Allah and how close to Allah you are, then this is how your patience will develop, and you could get out of that depression.
Yeah.
But if you're not that close to hope, translate it into Allah if you want to, and if you're not that close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you haven't practiced getting close to Allah by being patient, by doing your wajibat or siyam, then when you're facing a tragedy, or you will, and then if you don't have the right education, you will find it very hard to get out of this depression. However, for someone that has been like taught all his life to use patience and develop patience and be ready to face those things, yes, he might be facing depression for a certain amount of time, but he will have Allah in his eyes and see the light at the end of the tunnel. So without patience, this is what I'm saying. Like without patience, for sure you will reach depression because you can't see. There's no hope, so you'll reach the depression. But if you have patience, you'll fall. So you're on a fall. But because you have patience, you could grip. You could use your hands to grip a bit. You're not gonna fall the whole way down. And then slowly with patience.
I like the demonstration that you're putting. And actually, to come back to the point of hope, there's this I think it's part of a poetry in Arabic that says وَمَا قِيمَةُ الْعَيْشِ لَوْلَا فُسْحَةُ الْأَمَلِ. So it means like what is even the point of this life without the ray of light that is given by hope, And so now we're going to move on to a different direction and talk about patience in our daily life. I found this crazy statistic that was conducted a while back, I think 2015, that's about examples of how Americans, which I can easily extrapolate to our Canadian society as well, and I'm guessing that to a certain extent the world, are impatient. It says 96% of Americans will knowingly consume extremely hot food, even though it burns their mouth. More than half of the people that participated would hang up the phone before when talking to someone before the end of a minute. Like you're not even gonna last a minute on the phone. 71% frequently exceed the speed limit of their computers. On average, binge watch 7 episodes of their favorite TV show, and then wait 18 to 24 seconds before bypassing a slow walker. Like the level of and putting those statistics on the side, in this especially the time that we live in right now, is a time where everything needs to be done fast because you want to see what's the next result. Doing this right now, and we're thinking about, okay, what is going to be iftar after this, probably chill with the family or watch a TV show or whatever it is. So we're living a life where it's always more and more and more. And so I wanna ask you guys, how do you feel patience or impatience in your daily lives? I mean, from your daily examples, we can start with
you mentioned and whatnot. I think we talked about the mental aspect of patience and its positive effects. On a physical level, certainly it does also have an effect. We related impatience with the lack of self-control.
Yeah.
And part of a person being patient is to exercise self-control on all aspects of his life, be it on his physical well-being, on his mental well-being, on his health. So, for example, we're now in Ramadan, and we're actually exercising these patients by not eating. Just like Haidar mentioned in the verse from the Quran, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, and by sabr it's meant fasting. So by not eating. So part of obesity is because people cannot self-control themselves. And they don't see a point of patience. And it's a very narrow-minded point of view, because you don't think long-term. So you think short-term and you think instant gratification. Absolutely. And when this happens to a person, other problems emerges.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that's the physical aspect of impatience. We also have a spiritual aspect of impatience, just like the body, the physical body. You go to the gym to exercise. The soul also needs an exercise. And that exercise to the soul is self-control. To able to develop that self-control in all aspects of life, it's a desirable aspect to nearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it provides us with high endurances to, terrible situations and calamities that we are tested in trials in this life.
Absolutely. And Haidar, there's a point that I want to bring first, which is I think one of the main reasons why quarantine was found to be such a difficult thing is because it has forced everyone to be patient. It's slowed down this life that's been going on at such a fast pace. Everything is about the next. We're in January. We're planning what we're gonna do in July, what we're gonna do in we're never there. And so I want you to comment on this. Why are we so impatient? What is it that we're seeking? What are we after?
I call it the race of desires.
Oh, look at that!
All right,
there you go.
So it's like we live in in an era like today. We live where everything, like you go on Instagram, you go on social media, you go on TV, you go with your friends, you go out. Everything is filled with this desire. You go, you do your photo, you take a picture of your photo, you send it to everyone. Everything is on this how do you call it, like portraying this image of ego, of so-called I am satisfied, what do you have, or I'll have what you have. If you show me, I'll have even better. But Imam Ali, one of his hadith, بالصبر ترك الرغائب. So by being patient is leaving those desires, you're patient enough, you develop this type of raha, of how do we call this, focus, where you're mentally focused and
peace of mind, comfort.
peace of mind and comfort, that you're patient to accept what you have and enjoy it, to really taste it. Like if you have, like, let's say you don't
You're
need
thinking a lot about food, man.
Okay, that's what that's one thing I want to mention, because we mentioned it. Let's take a real life, for example, me, this is personally something I don't really like. You're invited to somewhere, or invited or someone invites me. It's nice to have this crazy sufra, and then you put out this 16 types of meals. A sufra, like it's a meal, like a dinner table, to break fast. And you put all those types of food in it, and then you can't really taste if there is when it's on just one, where you really emphasize and you taste this one meal. You have to go take a bit of this, a bit of this, a bit of this. I don't like, and then so most of the time what you're doing is you're throwing it away. Right. And then this is one of the types where we face, like, exactly. I sometimes I become uncomfortable when I'm facing this. Like I feel guilty, or like there's so much and I can't even finish it. This is where we face it during Ramadan sometimes. And then you have the desires. You go outside. Now it's a blessing. We are in quarantine. But some of back in the days when we used to fast, and then you go out, you're in school, there's a lot of desires, and here in the West, You have
all types of food.
you have all types of food, and you have all types of temptations, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to have this patience to know to say, you know what, I'm gonna obey Allah, and then like lower my gaze, for instance.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
so we face a lot, or in the streets, like you mentioned, you're driving. You're driving a car, and then there's this guy next to you. He's looking at you, and then he's showing you the middle finger. What do I do here?
Where do you live, man? Which area of the world is this?
No, but it happens. It happens. So there's a lot of cases where you tested on your patients. Whether some of them, they're very small, and some of them are huge, and they become a disaster. But the more you could, for me, I have this trick.
Okay.
Not to take it long. I say to myself, okay, in five occasions, if I'm able to show patience in three occasions, I won here.
Okay.
So
I want to see where this is going.
No, this is this is more about self-discipline, but when this is how you talk to yourself. You say, you know what, on this whole day, if I encountered those three occasions, those three where my patients were tested, and then at the end of the day, before you fall asleep, and then you wanna grade yourself, how much did you do on this day? Well, if on 5 occasions you got 3, you're good. You're on the good.
Yeah. Actually, this goes back to a book that I read a while ago. It was from Sayyid Khomeini, that talks about before you fall asleep at night, there are a few steps that you need to do, which is like muraja'a or something like that. It was basically one of them. It was like you go back, you replay your day, and you see where did you end up following God during that day, and where did you end up failing. And another thing that I want you guys to comment on is I've seen it's one of my maybe best English lectures that I always recommend to everyone. It's by Brother Khalil Ja'far, and the title of it is The End of Negative Suffering, and it is beautifully made. And the idea is that one of the way he starts the lecture, it's a 10 series lecture, and the first lecture he talks about that we are never really in the moment. We either, he says, 90% 90 to 95% of human thought is either useless or repetitive. I mean, if you come back and try to dissect your thought, it's either something you already thought about or something that is not going to lead anywhere. So there are not a lot of original thoughts that pop in your head. And we're always thinking either a step ahead or so in the future or in the back, so in the past. We're never really in the moment. And I think that's related to patience. What do you guys think? I mean, if you're never really living, enjoying, like you said, you have all these meals and you don't even get to enjoy one meal because you're thinking, I need to have that one and I need to have that one. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I agree with that. If you worry about the long term, then it could be seen negatively. If you're impatient, then you're focusing too much on the short term. So I think there needs to be a balance between thinking about the long term and the short term, which is the present. Yeah. But if we end up focusing more on the long term, then we can derive a bit more success from that. Because success and patience is related. Hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salam says. Let me see if I can find the hadith. Yes, the one who practices sabr will never be deprived of success, even though it may take a long time. So time is an important factor to consider here.
Yeah, there's a nice quote or a saying that I don't recall who said it, but I use it also, especially if you're in your career using it, or if we're talking about success. He says, by being patiently aggressive. So you're patient, but you're aggressive. So basically, you're patient, and you acknowledge each stone you're going towards your goal. So you're patient and you're acknowledging it and you're taking care of it. But you also know where you're going, and you also know where you're aiming. So you're aggressive. You don't stop. You don't give up. So this is to maintain this balance between not giving up, giving the going to the past, people going to the past. So being aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. And it goes back to the famous hadith from Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, which is اعمل لدنياك كأنك تعيش أبدا اعمل لآخرتك كأنك تموت غدا, which puts it nicely, this kind of balance between. So inshallah, when we come back, we're going to talk about exercising patience in Ramadan specifically, and the relationship between patience and Imam Mahdi Ajalla Ta'ala Faraja. As we always tend to relate our talk to Mahdi, and how these qualities, if we do increase them, how they're going to help us in our quest of patiently waiting for Sahib al-Asr al-Zaman, inshallah. And I just want to remind everyone to please send your questions either on the live chat or on the Slido. We haven't seen much participation. We think that you guys don't like us too much. So we want to hear your opinion. We want to hear what you have to say about this, and how can we make this more interesting, more interactive for you guys. So give us your comments on the live chat, on the Slido, and inshallah we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
مهمترین ویژگی که در پدر و مادر مؤثر در تربیت شخصیت خوب و مقاوم در بچه‌ها ویژگی صبره. صبر تلخه، میشه مثل چایی، با شوک میشه چای غم پهلو و خوشمزه میشه. اگر صبر با بدعنقی و بدحالی و افسردگی و شکوه و گله همراه باشه، نه تنها در بچه‌ها اثر مثبت نمیگذاره که اثر منفی هم باقی خواهد گذاشت. مادر یا پدر، به ویژه مادر، چون اثر عاطفی بیشتری رو بچه داره، اگر شروع کنه پیش بچه‌ها گله کردن، حالا ممکنه خود اون رنج، خود اون گله برای مادر چیز زیاد مهمی نباشه، ولی اصلا کل جهان رو برای بچه تیر و تار میکنه. دیگه نمیشه اون بچه رو به این سادگی از این منفی نگری و سیاه بینی عالم در آورد بیرون. در روانشناسی هم خیلی تاکید شده بر این که مبادا مادر پیش بچه‌ها گله کنه، شکایت کنه. چند تا بیماری روحی در جا در بچه‌ها ایجاد میشه. چه بسا مادرانی که پیش بچه‌هاشون گله میکنن از یه چیزایی، 2 ساعت بعد خود مادره یادش رفته، ولی تا 20 سال بعد بچه یادش نمیره. همیشه این ذهنیت ته ذهنش باقی میمونه، احساس ناامنی میکنه. پدران و مادران بعد از صبر یا همراه با صبر، چیزی که خیلی مهمه در رفتارشون به بچه‌ها منتقل بکنن، شکره. بچه‌ها خودشون نقطه ضعفای بابا و مامان رو میفهمن. باباها، مامانا درد دل نکن، این بچه خودش تیزه، میفهمه. امروز نفهم، فردا میفهمه. شما بابایی بگو مادرت گله، این بچه عالی میشه، اصلا فرق نمیکنه مادر کی باشه. بچه‌ها متوجه میشن که احیانا مثلا اخلاق بابا بده، میفهمن. امروز نفهمن، فردا میفهمن. مامان بگه که باباتون گله، بچه چی میشه؟ وای. نه تنها تحمل سختی ها، بلکه بگه خدا رو شکر، این مهمترین موضوعی است که رو بچه تأثیر میگذاره.
The last segment of our show for tonight, we spoke about several relationships between patients and aspects in our life, such as faith, such as success, such as even joy. Even enjoying anything would require you to be patient enough to enjoy it. So now we're going to mention, we're going to talk more about the relationship between patience and Shahr Ramadan, and we are living in the blessings of this month. So Haidar, what is this relationship? How can we utilize month in order to increase our patience, and why do we need to specifically now focus on Shahr Ramadan?
Well, like you said, I want to emphasize on one word you said, and it's blessing. So it is Shahr Ramadan. It is a great blessing for us because it opens its doors for us to practice the true meaning of patience. And then by practicing this true meaning of patience in Shahr Ramadan, the holy month, it is by getting us closer to Allah. So whether it's from refraining from sinning, being patient not to sin, being patient to obey Allah and do the wajibat for our siyam to be maqbool, and then refraining from eating, so the physical part. All of those are types of patience that are all put in together in this holy month, and where Allah is telling you, here you go. I'm going to give you this month, making an environment for it, put the shayateen away for you to be able to practice these types of patience and get close to me. So this is a rahmah, this is a blessing. Use it in this month, so when it ends, you could have a head start and then continue through the rest of the year. So it is a great opportunity to, if you want to start practicing patience and then get the taste of patience, it is a great opportunity to use the holy month of Ramadan as a start.
Absolutely, and like mentioned earlier, one of the synonyms of siyam is, or fasting, is patience, which by default you're gonna have to be patient during Shahr Ramadan. So it's a great way to practice and increase the sense of patience in our life. Muhammad, are you with us?
I'm with you.
Okay, perfect. So what do you have for me to tell everyone about how can you build patience? What are the few steps that we can do to practice living a patient life? We're gonna comment after.
I mean, just like we mentioned earlier in our discussion, it's not, patience is not given to anyone. It's something someone needs to develop, and it's important to acknowledge that point, that it needs to be developed. Not everyone has it. You need to put yourself into a mindset of being, with feelings of courage, that you have fortitude, that you can stand strong against adversities. You need to be able to take control of your behavior. Okay. So once you acknowledge that you have that power, then you can slowly exercise patience in your life. Then you need to acknowledge that the feelings of pain and agitation and anger and anguish will result in more pain. Whenever you're left with a situation with, for example, you being angry, you need to question yourself. Is it worth it or not? A faithful person will always say it's not worth it, because that thing is very, very minuscule. It's very tiny compared to the reward of patience we receive by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you ponder on the disadvantages, if you lose your patience upon trivial, calamities or intolerances, then this won't help you in reality. It will not change reality. Impatience doesn't settle a need. It doesn't, change the reality.
I see what you mean.
So once you acknowledge that, then you need to change your behavior.
Absolutely.
Then you need to focus on your well-being. You need to focus on not chasing happiness. You need to focus on your content in life. We mentioned the rida.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind, right? Long-term rather than short-term or materialistic aspect.
Absolutely.
So once you exercise those patience, it will slowly lead to many aspects of success in life, not necessarily in your faith necessarily. It could expand beyond your faith, your success in, for example, your relationship, in your health, in your physical, mental well-being, and whatnot. Finally, my last point I want to mention is, if you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you with patience, then that's a good mindset, because patience is hugely rewarded. It's mentioned a lot of time in the Quran.
Yeah.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell you that this life is a trial, that you'll be tested. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ, like you mentioned in the beginning. وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. You'll be tested with hunger, with loss of goods, loss of lives.
Yeah. And actually, even in our previous talk, when we talked about how you can always answer back, but if you refrain yourself and just keep calm, you're rewarded. So every time that you kind of bypass that angry moment and you go towards a moment where you're at peace again, and you remove what is disturbing your anger, then you're rewarded. And it's a beautiful mindset to have. Now, Haidar, there's a question from our recurring guest, welcome back 313, which is related to Yusuf al-Hakim, actually.
Okay.
And he's saying, Salam brothers, what is a good way to practice my patience when I play games with my friends? So I'm guessing that he's playing Counter-Strike, and his partner is not really taking long or mid or whatever it is. So how do you answer this?
Well, you could use your patience by you could be patient by using a good sense of akhlaq. That I could answer him. So having a nice
doing istighfar while playing games.
You could do istighfar while if you're playing CSGO or something that you're playing each time you kill someone. Yes, you could have nice akhlaq. So you could enjoy your time as well. Have a nice akhlaq. This is a type of patience. Even if sometimes with sometimes we joke, but sometimes that might hurt. So looking at what we're saying, this is a type of patience because you're focusing on what are you saying and looking on others as well. I also want to comment on a couple of things that Muhammad says. So there's this saying that says, what doesn't kill you gets you stronger. Makes you stronger. And there's also this one that says it takes a lifetime to build an empire, but a second of anger to destroy it. So basically, like here, like whether it's a relationship with a friend, with a family member, try as much as possible to contain your anger, because this lifetime of relationship, of this lifetime of business that you build, it just a second of anger. If you use your patience, then you'll get to keep it and maintain it. One last thing that I want to add is the Prophet. He says there's 3 types of signs of mu'min, of sabr. So علامات الصبر في 3. أولها أن لا يكسل. So the first one, so he does not get lazy.
Okay.
الثانية أن لا يضجر الإنسان. So he does not get bored.
Yeah.
وثالثا أن لا يشكو من ربه عز وجل.
Okay.
So the third one, so he does not complain on God. So if you want to practice your patience, try to not get lazy. Try to refrain from getting bored. Don't complain, and then because لأن إذا كسل فقد ضاق الحق. So if it's lazy, so he won't know, he won't do some amal, and he won't know what's right from wrong. وإذا ضجر لم يؤدي الشكر. Bored, he won't know the meaning of gratitude. He won't be grateful.
Okay.
وإذا شكر رب عز وجل فقد عصى. And if he complains on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it means he has sinned, because then it means when someone yashku, then it means he knows more than Allah, and he's saying to Allah, why did you do this, right? So this is one of the types.
That's beautiful, and actually it answers another question by Yusuf al-Karbala'i, which he says, what are the steps to develop patience, especially during the month of Ramadan, which I think this can be implied towards every month, really, but specifically in the month of Ramadan being the month of being patient. Now, we have another question before we go to the segment about the relationship between Imam Mahdi and patience. Muhammad, I'm going to address this one to you. It was about how can we, I guess it's touching back on what you said, which is how can you explain the hadith about الصبر صبران الصبر على الطاعة والصبر عن المعصية. The patience is of two kinds. Patience on following God's command and patience on restraining or abstaining from from what He had forbidden. How can we explain that or elaborate on that hadith?
Well, that hadith can also be, replicated by another narration that says sabr is actually three kinds, like Haydar Arab mentions.
Yeah.
Hadith by the Messenger of God, sabr is of three kinds. Patience at the time of affliction, which we said sabr al bala. Then sabr in regard to obedience, sabr al ta'a, and then sabr in regards, to disobedience, al ma'siyah. And then the Prophet says, and the third one is superior to the first two kinds. Okay. So we mentioned that sabr in regards to, to sins is the source of the fear of God. Okay. Yeah. So if you have fear of God, then you're less likely to be disobedient to God.
Yeah.
And sabr towards ta'ah is a source of closeness to God. So if you want to get nearer to God, then you'll have to have patience to ta'ah. You don't always feel like doing the ta'ah. Sometimes it's tough being generous. Sometimes it's tough donating your money. It is tough, performing salat al-layl. It's not easy to perform fasting to people, but this is type of sabr.
Absolutely.
And then the lastly, sabr in misfortune. So if we have that element of content, of rida in our life, then we can control our destiny.
Perfect. There's more questions, but we'll get to that. I want to first talk about the relationship between sabr and Imam Mahdi. And as always, we know that whatever it is that it's a good quality, if we develop that, it will eventually help us in our main goal, which is patiently waiting for Imam Mahdi Ajallah Farajat, so he can come to this world and save all of us. So, Haydar, what do you have to comment about this? What's that relationship like?
Well, first of all, to start with, we're patiently waiting for our Imam, the Imam of our time.
Yeah.
Baqiyatullah.
Yeah.
But we have to understand that today, where he is here, but he is hidden from the naked eye.
Our eyes, yeah.
And tomorrow, when he's gonna reappear to the naked eye, and for us to be able to see him, the conditions of his bay'ah, the conditions of giving him allegiance, are quietly the staying away from the sins, staying away from the muharramat, doing the wajibat, and so we have this.
And an affliction,
and then being patient on the bala, and then if we want to, so being patient on the bala, there's a nice story that I'm not sure. I heard some hadith says that this might be one of the tests that will happen to some of the ashab of the Imam during his reappearance.
Yeah.
Which they are tested. They are tested facing one type of bala, and then it's Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's Surah, by the way, it's Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 249.
Yeah.
So بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فلما فصل طالوت بالجنود قال إن الله مبتليكم بنهر فمن شرب منه فليس مني ومن لم يطعمه فإنه مني إلا من اختلف غرفة بيده فشربوا منه إلا قليلا منهم فلما جاوزه هو والذين آمنوا معه قال لا طاقة لنا اليوم بجالوت وجنوده قال الذين يظنون أنهم ملاقوا الله كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله والله مع الصابرين. So here, if we want to translate it, it says that and when Saul went forth with the soldiers, he said, indeed, Allah will be testing you with a river. So they were tested with a river. So and then he says, whoever drinks from it, is not of me. And whoever does not taste it, it is indeed of me. So whoever drinks from it is not of me, and who does not taste it is with me, excepting one who takes in the hollow of his hand. So except those who takes like this, like small ghurfa, like this small of the hollow, they call it hollow of his hand.
Yeah. A handful.
A handful. but they drank from it except a very few of them. So some of them drank of it a bit. Then when he had crossed it along with those who believed with him, they said, there is no power for us today against Goliath and his soldiers. So when they crossed the river, those said, oh, we have no power against Goliath and his soldiers.
Yeah.
But those who were certain that they would meet Allah, so those who like had this closure to Allah and this iman to Allah, they said, how many a small company has overcome a large company by permission of Allah. So them knowing what's the type of patient and knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so the greatest of iman of believers, they know Allah. So they said, how much of a small companies they already be large company by the permission of Allah. So Allah has His will, and Allah is with the patients. So He has His will with the patients.
Absolutely.
So Allah. So this is a nice story to
actually, it's a beautiful story that sums everything up. I mean, it's we know that during the time of Imam Mahdi, the test will be even stronger for those, even harder, because now everyone will be working towards destroying the army of Imam Mahdi with all kinds of temptation, with all kinds of afflictions. So it's going to come back to us practicing bit by bit in our daily simple lives to strengthen that, so that when the test happens, and inshallah we're going to be there in the reappearance of Imam Mahdi, we're ready for that big test, like what happened with Talut and his soldiers.
Not to forget, sorry, Nathan, I think every time we should mention patience, I think it's a duty on us who believes in Ahlul Bayt and follow Ahlul Bayt to mention Imam Hussein, who showed the greatest of patience, and Imam Mahdi will come and avenge and his patience. So every time, for me personally, every time I look at patience, every time I want to practice patience, I look at the tragedy of Karbala, and there is all types, every single aspect of patience was illustrated there, and then you could use it in your daily life, and
absolutely
you get closer to Allah.
Absolutely. One of the ways actually to increase our patience is to always remember that those who are better than us, who are better than us in every way, closer to God than us, have gone harder tests than us, and they were patient. Like in Ziyarat al-Nahiya, as narrated from Imam Mahdi about Imam Hussein, he says, وَقَدْ عَجِبَتْ مِنْ صَبْرِكَ مَلَائِكَةُ السَّمَاءِ. So you were so patient, O Imam Hussein, that the angels, which are the perfect beings, they don't know what it means to disobey Allah. They are impressed and they're surprised by how patient you are. So it was a beautiful talk. I want to thank you guys both, honestly, for this nice conversation. And we even got some nice questions from our brother Yusuf al-Hakim. And to sum it up, actually, is that patience is one of those virtues that are fundamental for our faith, for Islam. It is like Muhammad said and about the Prophet, that it is like the head to the rest of the faith, which is the body. It's imperative that we develop patience in our daily life in order to end our own negative suffering, in order to start enjoying life more, and in order to endure the afflictions that are happening. We mentioned that patience of three kinds, like what the Prophet said: patience on bala, on affliction; patience on ta'ah, which is following God's command; and patience abstaining from ma'siyah, which also requires patience. And at the end, we need to practice our daily life. In our daily life, we need to be more and more patient, because we're preparing for the reappearance of Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman, and that is when our patience will be tested to the most. Thank you, Muhammad, for all the comments and the topics you spoke about. Thank you, Haida, for coming back with us also another week. And thank you, Ahmed, in the back. And from me, Nathan, I want to thank you guys for watching. And inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow with a very special episode. So we'll see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, guys. Majori.
على محمد اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
أمراء الكلام. عن الإمام الحسين بن علي عليه السلام أنه قال: موت في عز خير من حياة في ذل.
إلهي عظم البلاء وبرح الخفاء وانكشف الغطاء وانقطع الرجاء أضاقت الأرض ومنعت السماء وأنت المستعان وإليك المشتكى وعليك المعول في الشدة والرخاء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أولي الأمر الذين فرضت علينا طاعتهم وعرفتنا بذلك منزلتهم ففرج عنا بحقه فرجا عاجلا قريبا كلمح البصر أو هو أقرب. يا محمد يا علي يا علي يا محمد اكفياني فإنكما كافيان وانصراني فإنكما ناصران. يا مولانا صاحب الزمان الغوث 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 أدركني 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 الساعة 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 العجاب 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 يا أرحم الراحمين بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين.
مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا مدبر الليل والنهار يا محول الحول والأحوال حول حالنا حول حالنا حول حالنا إلى أحسن الحال
مناديا ينادي
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك فاسمع يا سميع مدحتي وأجب يا رحيم دعوتي وأغل يا غفور عثرتي فكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها وهموم قد كشفتها وعثرة قد أغلتها ورحمة قد نشرتها وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الظلم وكبره تكبيرا الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها على جميع نعمه كلها الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه ولا منازع له في أمره الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه ولا شبيه له في عظمته الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره وحمده الظاهر بالكرم مجده الباسط بالجود يده الذي لا تنقص خزائنه ولا تزيده كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما إنه هو العزيز الوهاب اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير مع حاجة بي إليه عظيمة وغناك عنه قديم وهو عندي كثير وهو عليك سهل يسير اللهم إن عفك عن ذنبي وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي وصفحك عن ظلمي وسترك على قبيح عملي وحلمك عن كثير جرمي عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك الذي رزقتني من رحمتك وأريتني من قدرتك وعرفتني من إجابتك فصرت أدعوك آمنا وأسألك مستأنسا لا خائفا ولا وجلا مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك فإن أبت عني عتبت بجهلي عليك، ولعل الذي يبطى عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور. فلم أر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد اللئيم منك علي يا رب. إنك تدعوني فأولي عنك، وتتحبب إلي فأتبغض إليك، وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك، كأن لي التطول عليك. فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك. فارحم عبدك الجاهل وجود عليهم بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فالق الإصباح ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه، وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله، ولا شبيه يشاكله، ولا ظهير يعاضده. قهر بعزته العزة وتواضع لعظمته العظمى، فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أنادي، ويستر على كل عورة وأنا أعصيه، ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجازي. فكم من موهبة هنية قد أعطى، وعظيمة مخوفة قد كفى، وبهجة مونقة قد أراني، فأثني عليه حامدا وأذكره مسبحا. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه، ولا يغلق بابه، ولا يرد سائله، ولا يخيب آمله. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين ويرفع المستضعفين ويضع المستكبرين ويهلك ملوكا ويستخلف آخرين. والحمد لله قاصم الجبارين مبير الظالمين مدرك الهاربين نكال الظالمين صريخ المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين. الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها وترجف الأرض وعمارها وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراته. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق ويرزق ولا يرزق ويطعم ولا يطعم ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. وصل على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر وحفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك، استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله، مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له، أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا، يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعزه وأعزز به، وانصره وانتصر به، وانصره نصرا عزيزا، وافتح له فتحا يسيرا، واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أظهر به دينك وسنة نبيك، حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله، وتذل بها النفاق وأهله، وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك، وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملنا، وما غسرنا عنه فبلغنا. اللهم المم به شعثنا، واشعب به صدعنا، وارتق به فتقنا، وكثر به قلتنا، وأعزز به ذلتنا، وأغن به عائلنا، واغض به عن مغرمنا، واجبر به فقرنا، وسد به خلتنا، ويسر به عسرنا، وبيض به وجوهنا، وفك به أسرنا، وأنجح به طلبتنا، وأنجز به مواعيدنا، واستجب به دعوتنا، وأعطنا به سؤلنا، وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا، وأعطنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين. اشف به صدورنا، واذهب به غيظ قلوبنا، واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك، إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق. آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. فصل على محمد وآله، وعنا على ذلك وبفتح منك تعجل وبضر تكشف ونصر تعز وسلطان حق تظهر ورحمة منك تجللنا وعافية منك تلبسنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولو أننا نزلنا إليهم الملائكة وكلمهم الموتى وحشرنا عليهم كل شيء قبلا ما كانوا ليؤمنوا إلا أن يشاء الله ولكن أكثرهم يجهلون. وكذلك جعلنا لكل نبي عدوا شياطين الإنس والجن يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا ولو شاء ربك ما فعلوه فذرهم وما يفترون. ولتصغى إليه أفئدة الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة وليرضوه وليقترفوا ما هم مقترفون. أفغير الله أبتغي حكما وهو الذي أنزل إليكم الكتاب مفصلا والذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعلمون أنه منزل من ربك بالحق فلا تكونن من الممترين. وتمت كلمة ربك صدقا وعدلا لا مبدل لكلماته وهو السميع العليم. وإن تطع أكثر من في الأرض يضلوك عن سبيل الله إن يتبعون إلا الظن وإن هم إلا يخرصون. إن ربك هو أعلم من يضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. فكلوا مما ذكر اسم الله عليه إن كنتم بآياته مؤمنين. وما لكم ألا تأكلوا مما ذكر اسم الله عليه وقد فصل لكم ما حرم عليكم إلا ما اضطررتم إليه وإن كثيرا ليضلون بأهوائهم بغير علم. إن ربك هو أعلم بالمعتدين. وذروا ظاهر الإثم وباطنه إن الذين يكسبون الإثم سيجزون بما كانوا يقترفون. ولا تأكلوا مما لم يذكر اسم الله عليه وإنه لفسق وإن الشياطين ليوحون إلى أوليائهم ليجادلوكم وإن أطعتموهم إنكم لمشركون. أومن كان ميتا فأحييناه وجعلنا له نورا يمشي به في الناس كمن مثله في الظلمات ليس بخارج منها كذلك زين للكافرين ما كانوا يعملون. وكذلك جعلنا في كل قرية أكابر مجرميها ليمكروا فيها وما يمكرون إلا بأنفسهم وما يشعرون. وإذا جاءتهم آية قالوا لن نؤمن حتى نؤتى مثل ما أوتي رسل الله الله أعلم حيث يجعل رسالته سيصيب الذين أجرموا صغار عند الله وعذاب شديد بما كانوا يمكرون. فمن يرد الله أن يهديه يشرح صدره للإسلام ومن يرد أن يضله يجعل صدره ضيقا حرجا كأنما يصعد في السماء كذلك يجعل الله الرجس على الذين لا يؤمنون. وهذا صراط ربك مستقيما قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يذكرون. لهم دار السلام عند ربهم وهو وليهم بما كانوا يعملون. ويوم يحشرهم جميعا يا معشر الجن قد استكثرتم من الإنس وقال أولياؤهم من الإنس ربنا استمتع بعضنا ببعض وبلغنا أجلنا الذي أجلت لنا قال النار مثواكم خالدين فيها إلا ما شاء الله إن ربك حكيم عليم وكذلك نولي بعض الظالمين بعضا بما كانوا يكسبون يا معشر الجن والإنس ألم يأتكم رسل منكم يقصون عليكم آياتي وينذرونكم لقاء يومكم هذا قالوا شهدنا على أنفسنا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا وشهدوا على أنفسهم أنهم كانوا كافرين ذلك أن لم يكن ربك مهلك القرى بظلم وأهلها غافلون ولكل درجات مما عملوا وما ربك بغافل عما يعملون وربك الغني ذو الرحمة إن يشأ يذهبكم ويستخلف من بعدكم ما يشاء كما أنشأكم من ذرية قوم آخرين إنما توعدون لآت وما أنتم بمعجزين قل يا قوم اعملوا على مكانتكم إني عامل فسوف تعلمون من تكون له عاقبة الدار إنه لا يفلح الظالمون وجعلوا لله مما ذرأ من الحرث والأنعام نصيبا فقالوا هذا لله بزعمهم وهذا لشركائنا فما كان لشركائهم فلا يصل إلى الله وما كان لله فهو يصل إلى شركائهم ساء ما يحكمون وكذلك زين لكثير من المشركين قتل أولادهم شركاؤهم ليردوهم وليلبسوا عليهم دينهم ولو شاء الله ما فعلوه فذرهم وما يفترون وقالوا هذه أنعام وحرث حجر لا يطعمها إلا من نشاء بزعمهم وأنعام حرمت ظهورها وأنعام لا يذكرون اسم الله عليها افتراء عليه سيجزيهم بما كانوا يفترون وقالوا ما في بطون هذه الأنعام خالصة لذكورنا ومحرم على أزواجنا وإن يكن ميتة فهم فيه شركاء سيجزيهم وصفهم إنه حكيم عليم قد خسر الذين قتلوا أولادهم سفها بغير علم وحرموا ما رزقهم الله افتراء على الله قد ضلوا وما كانوا مهتدين وهو الذي أنشأ جنات معروشات وغير معروشات والنخل والزرع مختلفا أكله والزيتون والرمان متشابها وغير متشابه كلوا من ثمره إذا أثمر وآتوا حقه يوم حصاده ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين ومن الأنعام حمولة وفرشا كلوا مما رزقكم الله ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين 8 أزواج من الضأن 2 ومن المعز 2 قل آذكرين حرم أم الأنثيين أما اشتملت عليه أرحام الأنثيين نبئوني بعلم إن كنتم صادقين ومن الإبل 2 ومن البقر 2 قل آذكرين حرم أم الأنثيين أما اشتملت عليه أرحام الأنثيين أم كنتم شهداء إذ وصاكم الله بهذا فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا ليضل الناس بغير علم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين قل لا أجد فيما أوحي إلي محرما على طاعم يطعمه إلا أن يكون ميتة أو دما مسفوحا أو لحم خنزير فإنه رجس أو فسقا أهل لغير الله به فمن اضطر غير باغ ولا عاد فإن ربك غفور رحيم. وعلى الذين هادوا حرمنا كل ذي ظفر، ومن البقر والغنم حرمنا عليهم شحومهما إلا ما حملت ظهورهما أو الحوايا أو ما اختلط بعظم، ذلك جزيناهم ببغيهم وإنا لصادقون. فإن كذبوك فقل ربكم ذو رحمة واسعة ولا يرد بأسه عن القوم المجرمين. سيقول الذين أشركوا لو شاء الله ما أشركنا ولا آباؤنا ولا حرمنا من شيء كذلك كذب الذين من قبلهم حتى ذاقوا بأسنا. قل هل عندكم من علم فتخرجوه لنا إن تتبعون إلا الظن وإن أنتم إلا تخرصون. قل فلله الحجة البالغة فلو شاء لهداكم أجمعين. قل هلم شهداءكم الذين يشهدون أن الله حرم هذا فإن شهدوا فلا تشهد معهم ولا تتبع أهواء الذين كذبوا بآياتنا والذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة وهم بربهم يعدلون. قل تعالوا أتل ما حرم ربكم عليكم ألا تشركوا به شيئا وبالوالدين إحسانا ولا تقتلوا أولادكم من إملاق نحن نرزقكم وإياهم ولا تقربوا الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن ولا تقتلوا النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تعقلون. ولا تقربوا مال اليتيم إلا بالتي هي أحسن حتى يبلغ أشده وأوفوا الكيل والميزان بالقسط لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها وإذا قلتم فاعدلوا ولو كان ذا قربى وبعهد الله أوفوا ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تذكرون. وأن هذا صراطي مستقيما فاتبعوه ولا تتبعوا السبل فتفرق بكم عن سبيله ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تتقون. ثم آتينا موسى الكتاب تماما على الذي أحسن وتفصيلا لكل شيء وهدى ورحمة لعلهم بلقاء ربهم يؤمنون. وهذا كتاب أنزلناه مبارك فاتبعوه واتقوا لعلكم ترحمون. أن تقولوا إنما أنزل الكتاب على طائفتين من قبلنا وإن كنا عن دراستهم لغافلين. أو تقولوا لو أنا أنزل علينا الكتاب لكنا أهدى منهم فقد جاءكم بينة من ربكم وهدى ورحمة فمن أظلم ممن كذب بآيات الله وصدف عنها سنجزي الذين يصدفون عن آياتنا سوء العذاب بما كانوا يصدفون. هل ينظرون إلا أن تأتيهم الملائكة أو يأتي ربك أو يأتي بعض آيات ربك يوم يأتي بعض آيات ربك لا ينفع نفسا إيمانها لم تكن آمنت من قبل أو كسبت في إيمانها خيرا قل انتظروا إنا منتظرون. إن الذين فرقوا دينهم وكانوا شيعا لست منهم في شيء إنما أمرهم إلى الله ثم ينبئهم بما كانوا يفعلون. من جاء بالحسنة فله 10 أمثالها ومن جاء بالسيئة فلا يجزى إلا مثلها وهم لا يظلمون. قل إنني هداني ربي إلى صراط مستقيم دينا قيما ملة إبراهيم حنيفا وما كان من المشركين. قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين. قل أغير الله أبغي ربا وهو رب كل شيء ولا تكسب كل نفس إلا عليها ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى ثم إلى ربكم مرجعكم فينبئكم بما كنتم فيه تختلفون وهو الذي جعلكم خلائف الأرض ورفع بعضكم فوق بعض درجات ليبلوكم فيما آتاكم إن ربك سريع العقاب وإنه لغفور رحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم صاد كتاب أنزل إليك فلا يكن في صدرك حرج منه لتنذر به وذكرى للمؤمنين اتبعوا ما أنزل إليكم من ربكم ولا تتبعوا من دونه أولياء قليلا ما تذكرون وكم من قرية أهلكناها فجاءها بأسنا بياتا أو هم قائلون فما كان دعواهم إذ جاءهم بأسنا إلا أن قالوا إنا كنا ظالمين فلنسألن الذين أرسل إليهم ولنسألن المرسلين فلنقصن عليهم بعلم وما كنا غائبين والوزن يومئذ الحق فمن ثقلت موازينه فأولئك هم المفلحون ومن خفت موازينه فأولئك الذين خسروا أنفسهم بما كانوا بآياتنا يظلمون ولقد مكناكم في الأرض وجعلنا لكم فيها معايش قليلا ما تشكرون ولقد خلقناكم ثم صورناكم ثم قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس لم يكن من الساجدين قال ما منعك ألا تسجد إذ أمرتك قال أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين قال فاهبط منها فما يكون لك أن تتكبر فيها فاخرج إنك من الصاغرين قال أنظرني إلى يوم يبعثون قال إنك من المنظرين قال فبما أغويتني لأقعدن لهم صراطك المستقيم ثم لآتينهم من بين أيديهم ومن خلفهم وعن أيمانهم وعن شمائلهم ولا تجد أكثرهم شاكرين قال اخرج منها مذءوما مدحورا لمن تبعك منهم لأملأن جهنم منكم أجمعين ويا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة فكلا من حيث شئتما ولا تقربا هذه الشجرة فتكونا من الظالمين فوسوس لهما الشيطان ليبدي لهما ما وري عنهما من سوآتهما وقال ما نهاكما ربكما عن هذه الشجرة إلا أن تكونا ملكين أو تكونا من الخالدين وقاسمهما إني لكما لمن الناصحين فدلاهما بغرور فلما ذاقا الشجرة بدت لهما سوآتهما وطفقا يخصفان عليهما من ورق الجنة وناداهما ربهما ألم أنهكما عن تلكما الشجرة وأقل لكما إن الشيطان لكما عدو مبين قالا ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين قال اهبطوا بعضكم لبعض عدو ولكم في الأرض مستقر ومتاع إلى حين قال فيها تحيون وفيها تموتون ومنها تخرجون يا بني آدم قد أنزلنا عليكم لباسا يواري سوآتكم وريشا ولباس التقوى ذلك خير ذلك من آيات الله لعلهم يذكرون يا بني آدم لا يفتننكم الشيطان كما أخرج أبويكم من الجنة ينزع عنهما لباسهما ليريهما سوآتهما إنه يراكم هو وقبيله من حيث لا ترونهم إنا جعلنا الشياطين أولياء للذين لا يؤمنون وإذا فعلوا فاحشة قالوا وجدنا عليها آباءنا والله أمرنا بها قل إن الله لا يأمر بالفحشاء أتقولون على الله ما لا تعلمون قل أمر ربي بالقسط وأقيموا وجوهكم عند كل مسجد وادعوه مخلصين له الدين كما بدأكم تعودون فريقا هدى وفريقا حق عليهم الضلالة إنهم اتخذوا الشياطين أولياء من دون الله ويحسبون أنهم مهتدون يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين قل من حرم زينة الله التي أخرج لعباده والطيبات من الرزق قل هي للذين آمنوا في الحياة الدنيا خالصة يوم القيامة كذلك نفصل الآيات لقوم يعلمون قل إنما حرم ربي الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن والإثم والبغي بغير الحق وأن تشركوا بالله ما لم ينزل به سلطانا وأن تقولوا على الله ما لا تعلمون ولكل أمة أجل فإذا جاء أجلهم لا يستأخرون ساعة ولا يستقدمون يا بني آدم إما يأتينكم رسل منكم يقصون عليكم آياتي فمن اتقى وأصلح فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون والذين كذبوا بآياتنا واستكبروا عنها أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا أو كذب بآياته أولئك ينالهم نصيبهم من الكتاب حتى إذا جاءتهم رسلنا يتوفونهم قالوا أين ما كنتم تدعون من دون الله قالوا ضلوا عنا وشهدوا على أنفسهم أنهم كانوا كافرين قال ادخلوا في قد خلت من قبلكم من الجن والإنس في النار كلما دخلت أمة لعنت أختها حتى إذا اداركوا فيها جميعا قالت أخراهم لأولاهم ربنا هؤلاء أضلونا فآتهم عذابا ضعفا من النار قال لكل ضعف ولكن لا تعلمون وقالت أولاهم لأخراهم فما كان لكم علينا من فضل فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكسبون إن الذين كذبوا بآياتنا واستكبروا عنها لا تفتح لهم أبواب السماء ولا يدخلون الجنة حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط وكذلك نجزي المجرمين لهم من جهنم مهاد ومن فوقهم غواش وكذلك نجزي الظالمين والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لا نكلف نفسا إلا وسعها أولئك أصحاب الجنة هم فيها خالدون ونزعنا ما في صدورهم من غل تجري من تحتهم الأنهار وقالوا الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق ونودوا أن تلكم الجنة أورثتموها بما كنتم تعملون ونادى أصحاب الجنة أصحاب النار أن قد وجدنا ما وعدنا ربنا حقا فهل وجدتم ما وعد ربكم حقا قالوا نعم فأذن مؤذن بينهم أن لعنة الله على الظالمين الذين يصدون عن سبيل الله ويبغونها عوجا وهم بالآخرة كافرون وبينهما حجاب وعلى الأعراف رجال يعرفون كلا بسيماهم ونادوا أصحاب الجنة أن سلام عليكم لم يدخلوها وهم يطمعون وإذا صرفت أبصارهم تلقاء أصحاب النار قالوا ربنا لا تجعلنا مع القوم الظالمين ونادى أصحاب الأعراف رجالا يعرفونهم بسيماهم قالوا ما أغنى عنكم جمعكم وما كنتم تستكبرون أهؤلاء الذين أقسمتم لا ينالهم الله برحمة ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون ونادى أصحاب النار أصحاب الجنة أن أفيضوا علينا من الماء أو مما رزقكم الله قالوا إن الله حرمهما على الكافرين الذين اتخذوا دينهم لهوا ولعبا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا فاليوم ننساهم كما نسوا لقاء يومهم هذا وما كانوا بآياتنا يجحدون ولقد جئناهم بكتاب فصلناه على علم هدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون هل ينظرون إلا تأويله يوم يأتي تأويله يقول الذين نسوه من قبل قد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق فهل لنا من شفعاء فيشفعوا لنا أو نرد فنعمل غير الذي كنا نعمل قد خسروا أنفسهم وضل عنهم ما كانوا يفترون إن ربكم الله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام ثم استوى على العرش يغشي الليل النهار يطلبه حثيثا والشمس والقمر والنجوم مسخرات بأمره ألا له الخلق والأمر تبارك الله رب العالمين ادعوا ربكم تضرعا وخفية إنه لا يحب المعتدين ولا تفسدوا في الأرض بعد إصلاحها وادعوه خوفا وطمعا إن رحمة الله قريب من المحسنين وهو الذي يرسل الرياح بشرا بين يدي رحمته حتى إذا أقلت سحابا ثقالا سقناه لبلد ميت فأنزلنا به الماء فأخرجنا به من كل الثمرات كذلك نخرج الموتى لعلكم تذكرون والبلد الطيب يخرج نباته بإذن ربه والذي خبث لا يخرج إلا نكدا كذلك نصرف الآيات لقوم يشكرون لقد أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه فقال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره إني أخاف عليكم عذاب يوم عظيم قال الملأ من قومه إنا لنراك في ضلال مبين قال يا قوم ليس بي ضلالة ولكني رسول من رب العالمين أبلغكم رسالات ربي وأنصح لكم وأعلم من الله ما لا تعلمون أوعجبتم أن جاءكم ذكر من ربكم على رجل منكم لينذركم ولتتقوا ولعلكم ترحمون فكذبوه فأنجيناه والذين معه في الفلك وأغرقنا الذين كذبوا بآياتنا إنهم كانوا قوما عمين وإلى عاد أخاهم هودا قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره أفلا تتقون قال الملأ الذين كفروا من قومه إنا لنراك في سفاهة وإنا لنظنك من الكاذبين قال يا قوم ليس بي سفاهة ولكني رسول من رب العالمين أبلغكم رسالات ربي وأنا لكم ناصح أمين أو عجبتم أن جاءكم ذكر من ربكم على رجل منكم لينذركم واذكروا إذ جعلكم خلفاء من بعد قوم نوح وزادكم في الخلق بسطة فاذكروا آلاء الله لعلكم تفلحون قالوا أجئتنا لنعبد الله وحده ونذر ما كان يعبد آباؤنا فأتنا بما تعدنا إن كنت من الصادقين قال قد وقع عليكم من ربكم رجس وغضب أتجادلونني في أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما نزل الله بها من سلطان فانتظروا إني معكم من المنتظرين فأنجيناه والذين معه برحمة منا وقطعنا دابر الذين كذبوا بآياتنا وما كانوا مؤمنين وإلى ثمود أخاهم صالحا قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره قد جاءتكم بينة من ربكم هذه ناقة الله لكم آية فذروها تأكل في أرض الله ولا تمسوها بسوء فيأخذكم عذاب أليم واذكروا إذ جعلكم خلفاء من بعد عاد وبوأكم في الأرض تتخذون من سهولها قصورا وتنحتون الجبال بيوتا فاذكروا آلاء الله ولا تعثوا في الأرض مفسدين قال الملأ الذين استكبروا من قومه للذين استضعفوا لمن آمن منهم أتعلمون أن صالحا مرسل من ربه قالوا إنا بما أرسل به مؤمنون قال الذين استكبروا إنا بالذي آمنتم به كافرون فعقروا الناقة وعتوا عن أمر ربهم وقالوا يا صالح ائتنا بما تعدنا إن كنت من المرسلين فأخذتهم الرجفة فأصبحوا في دارهم جاثمين فتولى عنهم وقال يا قوم لقد أبلغتكم رسالة ربي ونصحت لكم ولكن لا تحبون الناصحين ولوطا إذ قال لقومه أتأتون الفاحشة ما سبقكم بها من أحد من العالمين إنكم لتأتون الرجال شهوة من دون النساء بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وما كان جواب قومه إلا أن قالوا أخرجوهم من قريتكم إنهم أناس يتطهرون فأنجيناه وأهله إلا امرأته كانت من الغابرين وأمطرنا عليهم مطرا فانظر كيف كان عاقبة المجرمين وإلى مدين أخاهم شعيبا قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره قد جاءتكم بينة من ربكم فأوفوا الكيل والميزان ولا تبخسوا الناس أشياءهم ولا تفسدوا في الأرض بعد إصلاحها ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين ولا تقعدوا بكل صراط توعدون وتصدون عن سبيل الله من آمن به وتبغونها عوجا واذكروا إذ كنتم قليلا فكثركم وانظروا كيف كان عاقبة المفسدين وإن كان طائفة منكم آمنوا بالذي أرسلت به وطائفة لم يؤمنوا فاصبروا حتى يحكم الله بيننا وهو خير الحاكمين صدق الله العلي العظيم
إنا هديناه السبيل إما شاكرا